right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Daily Dimensions podcast. As always, I am your host, Smitty, back with another one. And, you know, if you are a fellow YouTube supporter, you've gotten a notification, you looking at this video right now. Yes, I can confirm we are back on YouTube, my people. We're back. We've upgraded the camera system. This should be so much clearer. I've been cutting up clips left and right. I'm excited to see how this continues to unfold now that we've upgraded this camera setup. We're going to continue to upgrade this studio space as well. A lot of changes coming for Daily Dimensions, and I'm excited about each and every one of them. If you are new here, right, the reason I've been gone so long, the reason you've gone a little while without hearing my voice coming through your car right now, coming through your TV, is because I've been on sabbatical. So every September, and I'm not too sure how we came up with September, but every September, I take a sabbatical. So I go on a break, reconnect spiritually, mentally, physically, reset. It's important to reset. And you don't have to do it for a month. You may just have a couple days. You know what I'm saying? You may just have a week. You may just have a few hours. Whatever you need to do to reset, and reset in a healthy way. Don't just run to your vice or whatever it may be and be like, oh yeah, I'm back, ready to go now. Reset in a healthy way. It's important because life is hard, life is stressful, and stress will kill you. Stress will really, stress will kill you. So it's important to take those moments to reset. And during this sabbatical, I also fasted. So I partook in what is called a Esther fast. You can look up what all of the details of that is. But primarily, I did not eat food for 3 days. And I've fasted before. I did sun up to sundown. I did that for 31 days, and that was extremely challenging, and it took every fiber in my being to make it through that. But not eating food for 3 days was so much harder. And if you see me on this video, you know me, right? I'm not missing a meal. All right, 3 squares a day, baby. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm not missing a meal. So to go 3 days with no food, I experienced so many different emotions. God spoke to me in different ways. I had different, it was quite the spiritual experience, and God quite literally had to carry me through that because there was no way I was going to be able to do it myself. I promise you, I was too hungry. It was a lot going on, literally by his strength, not by mine. Right. So I want that to be an episode unto itself, though. I'm not going to talk too much on it right now, but I want that to be an episode unto itself, you know, so that may be the next episode we drop. On top of that, Daily Dimensions is coming up on 5 years. And for y'all to be here 5 years later, still listening to me, still getting value from this, still enjoying the content, still following me, still sharing this with other people. Some of the messages I get from people, some of the responses I get from people, some of the reviews I see, and where my voice has been heard and where people have been able to find me has been amazing. It blows my mind sometimes that there are people in other countries who have never met me, but listen to my voice and support me and find value in the things I say. That's crazy to me. So to God be the glory for that one, man. I love it. And also, it was brought to my attention that one of our previous episodes, Preparation Before Acceleration, was a hit. I haven't really gone back to ever listen to it to remember everything that I said in that episode, but somebody told me they cried. You know who you are. You're listening to it. They told me they cried. Another person told me I was preaching. I was really spitting. So I'm going to go back and listen to it and get motivated myself. You need to go back and listen to it and go get motivated. Preparation Before Acceleration. Go listen to that episode. Streaming on all platforms. Get right with me. And yeah, so that's it for the catching up. Oh, also my health has been improving over this thing as well. My A1C is down, right? Blood pressure down, scale down. Everything that need to go down been down. All right. I've been taking care of myself, boy. So I'm excited about that as well. I made a commitment to myself and I've been sticking with it. Therapy's been good. I'm making strides in that regard, even though every day is a new level of journey. Some days be difficult and I don't feel like I'm making progress, but they be like, no, you're making progress, Jordan. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, making progress in that regard. Life has just been improving. And in the midst of all of these challenges that I experience, God is still good, and I'm able to navigate all of them. And I think that's the beauty of it. I think that's the real sign of the growth, is that in the presence of adversity, you're not crumbling. You are rising to that occasion. You know how to handle it. You know what triggers you. You know how to like soothe. You know how to do all these different everything. You know how to get through it. And that's been me lately. I've been getting through it, and I've not only just been surviving, but I've been thriving. And God is just good. That's that's it. That's the moral of the story. God has been good. But there's a number of things that I wanted to talk about today. I think the main thing that I'm going to talk about today is something that has been on my mind, and it's kind of just been the state of the world lately. I don't want this to turn into a super overly political episode. If it leans that way, I apologize. I'm not here to say anybody's right or anybody's wrong. What I am here to say is the world is crazy and we all need Jesus. If you cut the episode right there, that's the moral of the story at the end of the day. But the world is crazy and we all need Jesus. So I want to touch on Charlie Kirk. I want to touch on mega churches, and I want to touch on the need for Jesus, like especially right now. Charlie Kirk, man. So there's so much going on around Charlie Kirk, his death, his memorial service, and everything that is radiating from that. Specifically, what concerned me the most is not the conversations on, is Charlie Kirk racist or not? Did you listen to the full clip or just a sound bite? He was this and he was that. Whatever. I think what has concerned me the most is the position that most churches have taken, which was to use Charlie Kirk's death as a preaching point for a strong Christian revival that is going to take place here in this nation. It was almost as if they were painting Charlie Kirk as Jesus in a weird way, right? Because Jesus's death sparked a movement. Jesus's death changed lives. Jesus's death still has power to this day. Charlie Kirk's death is not the same thing. And there are a lot of pastors who were like, yeah, I feel like this is the spark of a great Christian revival here in this country and a great movement of God here in this country. And I'm like, I don't know if it's entirely that, brother. I mean, he claimed to be a believer. Cool. Did he necessarily live like a believer? No. Could I look at him and see his fruits and be like, man, that was a strong man of God? No. Did he have some values that lined up biblically? Kinda. Did he have some that were very far from it, or did he live in a way that seemed very far from it? Yeah. Like, I think we as believers got to get a lot better at not just saying, oh yeah, they believed in God. No, it's believing in God is cool, right? Believing in Jesus is cool. Accepting Jesus into your life, extremely important. But how you live that out is even greater, right? Because who are we to sit there and accept God into our lives, be like, yeah, I'm a believer in Christ, right? If you came to me and said, yeah, I'm a believer in Christ and I love Jesus, but every day I see you smoking weed or partying and doing this and doing that, I would look at you funny and be like, are you really a believer? Same way is if you come to me and say, I'm a believer in God and I love Jesus, but you spew rhetoric that is racist, you spread a lot of hate, you spread a lot of misinformation, and then kind of massage the wound with the Band-Aid of this is Christianity and, you know, I care about all people and I just want the world to be great again. But like, no, it's a misrepresentation of what God's people truly look like. And it's a misrepresentation of what a walk with God looks like. And, you know, when they say you will know a tree by its fruits, you can sit there and listen to what people say, right? That's the leaves, the branches, the stems. Right. But what is the product of that, right? When you speak, what is the product of the words that you put out there, right? Because when I sit here and I speak, the products of what I've spoken has been changed lives, people accepting Jesus, right? People turning their life around, people getting coached, people coming to the mental health cookout, growing a platform, people in England reaching out to me to coach them. Right? Like it's turned into things that have made other people's lives better. It has never turned into something that has made people hate one another, feel divided, been angry, right? Fueled misinformation. It's never been that. So people can say a lot of things, right? We can say whatever we want. But at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. And when you look at the fruit of his life, it didn't necessarily line up with who they are painting him to be. And I can't see a space where pastors, right? Because my biggest issue is with the pastors. I don't care too much about Charlie Kirk, right? It's unfortunate that he was assassinated the way he was, murdered the way he was. No one deserves that. But pastors have such a great responsibility, and to take something like that and position it in a way that to use it as a tool for Christian revival when it's not, that feels irresponsible. And it leads to my next thing about mega churches, right? Mega churches, online pastors, pastors with personalities, and how we consume what they give us. I think we can be, my pastor last Sunday, a couple of days ago, was speaking about idols and idols we create in our lives. And many of us are guilty of allowing mega church pastors to be idols in our lives. Sometimes we get so connected to these mega church pastors that we've never been to their church, but we watch them on YouTube all the time and almost position them as if they are our own personal pastor, right? Mega church pastor should never be your only pastor unless you're attending that church physically. Don't just be an online member. You need someone you can actually meet and go talk to and sit with and can know you by name, and not just subscriber number 1,992 just gifted 5 subs. They should know you as more than a number. And these pastors become the face of Christianity, not because of how good they are at what they do, but because they're highly visible, and because we see them all the time, we look at them all the time. People on the outside looking in, people on the inside looking out are like, this is Christianity, right? This is what walking with God looks like. And not everyone is a good representation of that. People will fail you at some point. And when a mega church pastor fails, it's like it's the end of the world, because it's like, oh, you were the one who were supposed to do da 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 da. And what I've been seeing on my timeline recently, and everybody's timeline is different, but a lot of people, every time a pastor gets popular and then there's like something takes place, and then everyone jumps. When they're getting popular, everybody loves them. Then something takes place, and then everybody gets in the comments like, oh, y'all should have never been listening to him and this and that and da 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 da. And what I really find is that there's a strong need to just really get in your own church, right? Get in your own church. Find a real good church home, build community in your church home, get to know people in your church home, get to know your pastor. Your pastor should know you by name. And the things that these mega church pastors do should not consume you the way that it does. Like the online discourse that takes place on people defending these pastors that they have never met and people trying to villainize these pastors that they never met. There is a much better use of our time in terms of the furtherance of the kingdom than getting in online debates with people on whether someone is a false prophet or not, right? Because you can't convince anybody of anything on the internet. You can get up there and say 2 + 2 = 4 online, and someone will still tell you, no, that's wrong. I see it differently. You can't win no arguments on the internet. It's hard to win some souls on the internet. It's hard to convert people on the internet. It's difficult to do anything on the internet because it's nothing but opinions behind screens and keyboards. And the best use of our time as believers is really getting out there and connecting with God for yourself, right? Find that church home and really connect, know his word, study your Bible, right? And then you won't have to debate with nobody because you'll just know. right? You'll just know. You'll be armed with the information, right? You'll be gifted with the experience to be able to see things for what they are. In the same way I can look at somebody and be like, okay, the fruit of your life is saying this. The way you live according to God's word is saying that. And you just know, and you don't got to convince nobody, you don't got to argue with them. But we have positioned people like Charlie Kirk. We position mega pastors. We position people like TD Jakes and Sarah Jakes Roberts and Mike Todd. We position these people in such a place that they have too much power. And it's almost like they have quite literally become the idol, right? It is no longer about Jesus. It's about this person and their ministry. And at the end of the day, their ministry is supposed to just point to Jesus. But we get so caught up in them and their ministry and be like, oh, they're so powerful and this and that, that we're missing the point. And the whole point is salvation, right? That's the entire point. And we've been missing that by a mile. So I have a strong belief that we are putting entirely too much faith in man and not enough faith in where our faith needs to be. And that's in Jesus. It's very concerning. And I think in a broader sense, we need to just shy away from a lot of internet conversation. I think that if you are super strong in the internet, but ineffective in the real world, then your priorities are backwards. I think that we need to be more effective in the real world, and who cares what the online presence is, but our culture now says that you have to have an online presence. Community is online. Communication is online. Discourse is online. Conversation is online. Purpose is online. And if you don't exist online, then you're missing out. But it's so much better to be unplugged and go impact people in the real world, or use the online to connect with people in a way individually that's really impacting people. There is so much I do for people that y'all will never know about, but they will forever know it. And the way I'm able to impact lives is because I really show up genuine and really care about people. The amount of people that I write on a weekly basis, yearly basis, monthly basis, and be like, yo, is there something I could be praying for? I'm praying for you, da 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 da. And just what you do for people, that is so much bigger than what your platform looks like and how many followers you have and how many people like to post and which pastor is doing this and what pastor is doing that. And Charlie Kirk said this. And did you really say that? What about this racism and all these other like, we got to get back to the real point when it comes to this faith walk and this salvation and loving one another and loving God. And we're missing the mark greatly because we've made idols out of literally everything but God. Disappointed, man. And in this world, unfortunately, everything online exists to bring out some sort of emotion from you, whether it's fear, joy, anxiousness, sadness, fear of missing out, whatever it may be. Everything that you consume online is meant to bring out some sort of emotion in you, unless you watching a DIY video. That's it, or a cooking video. Other than that, everything that gets posted is posted to bring out some sort of emotion out of you and to move you one way or another emotionally. We got to disconnect from those things. Also, human compassion, I believe, is at an all-time low. I think we need more compassionate people in this world. I think people in this world are entirely too self-interested and lack the capacity to truly be empathetic towards others, care for others, forgive others, love others, and live in a way that exemplifies how we've truly been called to live according to the word. I think we need more people to just be good people. It's okay to be a good person. Being a good person is still cool. And last time I checked, it's still free. It's okay to do. It's okay to reach out to people and be like, hey, how are you doing? Hey, I miss you. Hey, you want to go get some lunch? Da, 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 da. How can I help you? That goes a long way. A kind word, just showing that you care, going past the surface level and really just showing up in a way that just connects us in humanity is necessary, man. It goes such a long way and we're missing out on it. And we need to lead with love. I think we're in a huge love deficit here in this world. And the things that we think look like love ain't love. It's usually lust and idolatry. But we're missing out on love, man. We're missing out on caring for people, trying to make an impact, trying to change lives, trying to be leaders and role models. Everybody's just trying to be in a position of power, but who's trying to be a leader and a role model and shape future generations? Everybody walks around saying the next generation is cooked, but who's trying to help them? There are kids. I've worked with kids. I got friends that work with kids and adolescents and things like that. These kids can't read. Do y'all know that? There is a huge literacy problem here in America. This country that we say is so amazing and we're the best country on earth, right? Like, that's how they politicize it. It's kids here in Connecticut that can't read, brother. That can't read. Penmanship is trash. Don't know how to use a dictionary. Don't know how to do research. Don't know how to cite a source. Chat GPT, everything. Siri for everything. Don't have a sense of direction. I'm talking about a lot of y'all right now. Don't have a sense of direction. It's GPS everywhere. Don't know where nothing is. Don't know a street name, a landmark. It's a problem, man. And we need more people to pour into that next generation. We got to lead with love. We got to try to be the people who are changing the world and not just people who are just trying to change our situation. As you change the world around you, your situation improves. It can't just be solely about, I'm just trying to get ahead and I'm trying to do this and I'm just on my grind. How are you impacting the people around you? And when it's all said and done, what are these people going to remember you for? How will people remember your name? That matters to me. And I'll tell you right now, I was talking to one of my close friends about this, and I said, listen, if I died right now, that funeral would be packed. Because how will people remember your name? All of that matters. So I say all that to say, man, and I know this has been a different kind of episode for me. I even feel weird recording this. This is a different kind of episode for your boy, but I feel like a lot of these things needed to be said, and I've just been having a lot of conversations with people, but we need to get back to leading with love. Stop idolizing these mega pastors. Stop idolizing people like Charlie Kirk. Stop idolizing these people with these trash podcasts that spew a whole bunch of nonsense. We need to get back to truly loving people and doing things correctly and leading with love. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening to the podcast. We're back on YouTube all the time. And until next time, this is Daily Dimensions. Peace.